How many keys do you carry in your day-to-day life? A door key, house key, office key, desk key, cabinet key, all kinds of keys. So you use your key to open and get access to the contents of whatever you have closed, you have locked. So today we're going to talk about a different kind of key for our digital communication. It's called public key, private key, and the so-called public key pair. Let me use my invisible pen. So we're going to talk about public key pair, which basically has a public key, a public key, and a private key. So that's the pair. So just like you want to get into a room which is locked, you have to use your key, which only you have it, and that's the private key. And use that key to unlock and then get into the room. Now, in order to do that, that door, we have installed the lock on the door, and then we carry the key around. So similarly, if I want to access EC2 instance, so I need to put that I need to install that key lock here, which is in this case nothing but the public key. So we will put the public key there. So where will we put? When you launch the instance, we specify a public key pair. When we launch, you need to have a public key pair. And when we launch, and that public key is kept on the EC2 instance at this location on the machine. .ssh folder / authorized keys. In that file, we put the public key. So now, when I try to connect to the server using from my home or from my client machine, I am going to use my private key because that's what I have, and encrypt a message. So that's my encrypted message, and then send it over to the server, and the server takes that encrypted message and uses the public key and decrypts the message. And it verifies first that the public key with which it was the private key that was used to encrypt the message and send it to the server can only be decrypted successfully, can only be decrypted by this public key. No other key can decrypt it, period. Because this pair is unique. This one, every private key has the corresponding public key. So just like you carry a key and then you go and open the thing, and you can get into the room. Same thing here. Okay, now when you are encrypting or decrypting these messages, what type of key pair, when you generate this key, before you launch the instance, you have to generate this key pair. So for that, you can specify the cryptographic algorithm to be used. SSH2 RSA algorithm or ED2H, ED25519 algorithm. So in Linux cases, Linux instances, EC2 instances, it supports both. These two are supported in Linux cases. This is supported and this one also supported. Whereas Windows instances only RSA is supported. You cannot create a public key pair for a Windows instance using this. You cannot. It's not supported for Windows. Okay. Can I use multiple public key pairs to access to this instance? Yes. You generate a new public key pair, go and put that public key in this file, and now you can use this key pair. So you can use, let's say, this has this private key and this public key. Now the client should use this particular private key. So this client should use this particular key and then communicate with the EC2 instance using the corresponding public key. Because both the public keys are available in the key file, so it should be able to communicate. And you specify which key you are using, which private key you are using while communicating, while SSHing to the instance. So basically, we are going to SSH, secured shell. So we're going to establish a secured shell connection to EC2 instance, and once using the private key and do the communication. These public key pairs can be generated by the console using the console, or a third-party tool, SSH keygen, or something like that can be used to generate the public key pair and import that public key into the instance. So basically, you need to get that public key to this file. So that's all for today. Hope this helps. And what you want to learn and study more is this. Amazon EC2 key pairs on Linux instances. Key pairs, creating key pairs, tagging a public key, describing, deleting, adding a new key, verifying keys. So all these things should make sense. So if you read this. So generate a key pair, public key, private key, and tell what type of algorithm to use, and use a client, machine, SSH client, and you need to have the private key file so that you can communicate to the EC2 instance. If you don't have this private key, then you cannot connect. That's all. Encryption and decryption. All right. We'll talk to you in the next video.